We are here to discuss with you the Speak Up in a Box process and how it's helped improve student voice in our school community and influence school improvement planning.
Moira Secondary had held several smaller forums in the past, but we recognize the importance of hearing the ideas, suggestions, and voices of all students in the building. And the ministry developed Speak Up in a Box kit, which they are French and English versions. Was the perfect way for us to do this. The kit includes all of the strategies, resources, activities, and questions that you would need to host a forum for 30 students. And what we did at Moira is we turned this into a school-wide event and used the Speak Up in a Box kit in every homeroom class in our building. The ministry took a particular interest when we ordered 30 boxes, which hadn't happened before, and some researchers from the ministry's research branch, Hema and Martin, came down to observe our process, as well as continue to follow us on our journey by speaking with student leaders, student participants, and teacher advisors about our successes and our challenges in the process.
Our panel today consists of 6 Moira students. We have Kira Somerville, Braylon Guppy, Fiona Stanners, Daniel Meeks, Leslie Gordon, and Ben Basic. And as part of our presentation today, they will share with you their experiences, as well as a video, and provide you with the opportunity to ask questions and share any ideas you have via the Twitter back channel. So please continue to tweet as you have been all morning at the hashtag #STAR2014 so that you can share your ideas and thoughts throughout our presentation.
Let's get this started. I'd like to introduce you to our first panelist, Kira, who will be discussing with you how Speak Up in a Box got started at Moira Secondary School.
Okay, so first of all, hello and welcome. So myself and approximately 30 other students first became involved with the Speak Up in a Box forum when we were approached by the teachers, so Ms. Demianchuk was one of them, and asked to participate in the Speak Up in a Box initiative. Now, we didn't really know what this was at first, so we participated in a mock forum, so leadership training day, where we actually were able to learn and see the forum itself so that we would be able to understand how it would go for when we facilitated it in front of our peers. So we went through the whole process of the forum. We got into groups and we answered the 5 questions on chart paper and we hung them up around the classrooms, and then as a class we went and voted for our favorite answers for each question. And we even got to have the snack breaks and game breaks and tweet breaks like all the other students that actually participated in the forum did. So we really got the full experience of the forum itself. Now this worked really well in terms of promotion because we did it a few days before the actual forum itself occurred. So we were able to spread awareness to the student body as to what it was and create a hype surrounding the event. Also in terms of promotion, it was really well promoted on social media. So about 2 weeks before the event actually occurred, a Speak Up MSS Twitter account was created, and we had different incentives during the weeks to have people follow it. So we had like announcements over the PA where we'd say, go follow this account, you can get entered in a draw to win some cookies or something like that. So it really worked well in terms of that. As well, for social media, during the actual 2-day process of the forum, we had the hashtag Speak Up MSS, and we were trying to get students to tweet their thoughts and opinions with the hashtag Speak Up MSS, so we could see what their thoughts were, and also their peers could go and look and see what everyone's opinions were. And also this worked well in terms of promotion again, because the students who were going to do the forum the second day were able to see the students' tweets from the first day, and it all worked really well together to create a nice hype surrounding the event. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you, Kira. Can someone from the panel elaborate on a little bit more on the leadership perspective of student voice and how you went through that and led other students through that?
Cool. Thanks, Kira. So, hi, I'm Braylon again, and so like Kira said, I was approached by Ms. Demianchuk and a few other teachers in the school to go through the leadership training that Kira just described to you. So the way our forum worked was it was a 2-day process, and it spanned over 2 mornings. So the first morning was totally dedicated to the juniors in the school, and the other was the seniors. So myself and we got paired up, because it's always nice to have a buddy. You go into your designated classroom. And myself and my partner ended up in a very different and unique classroom, an environment that I myself have never really been in. The students there did not enjoy coming to school whatsoever. They found classes boring, not applicable in the real world. They didn't enjoy contributing to discussions or doing their homework, any of these sort of things. And so it was really it was interesting when we asked them to talk about positive things, things that they enjoyed about Moira, things that we do well as a school. They really struggled to find things like a comfortable place for them to be or express their voice. But when we asked them about the flaws in Moira, they had a lot to say, a lot of things that they saw and that they did not enjoy. So myself and my partner, we were a little taken aback, as you can imagine. We were a little hesitant. We weren't sure how so much negative energy in one room could really contribute to making positive improvements school-wide. Furthermore, we weren't really sure how willing they would be to actually voice their personal opinions or share their voice in working towards making improvements. However, actually, when you actually sit down and you start asking questions, and we were going around the room and we were discussing with them, they were actually very willing. They were very open about discussing things and their personal struggles in the school, and their contributions were actually mirrored within the actual overall results of the school, which just shows the connection that school improvement can have amongst all the many different groups in schools, because let's face it, high school does naturally separate into groups, and having that connection that puts us all together and finding common ground for improvement was really, really cool. As a leader, the most important part for me was giving a comfortable and secure environment for people who hardly ever get to express their voice. So as a leader, it was a really interesting and cool opportunity.
Thanks, thank you so much for sharing your leadership perspective. Fiona, can you please describe the experience of Speak Up in a Box as a participant?
Thank you. You're so welcome. Thanks, Braylon. All right, so like she said, I'm Fiona. So in my grade 10 year, I participated in the Speak Up in a Box initiative. So it was a 90-minute period in my homeroom class, and basically we split into groups. And what we were talking about was what we liked about school, what we wanted to see improved, and what initiatives we thought could be taken on by our school. So we had a couple of main questions, which were what we liked, what we thought Moira did well, what we disliked, what we thought could be improved, what engaged us at school, so what that looked like, and what teachers could do to improve the school experience, and what students could do to improve the school experience. So once we had our individual opinions, what we were doing was voting on the most relevant ideas to us. So like Braylon and Kira mentioned, we were using chart paper, writing out our ideas, and then we would vote on what we thought was the most relevant in terms of school improvement and school initiatives to our own peer group. At the same time, we had incentives to be using Twitter, like cookies and gift cards. So that was pretty exciting. So not only could we see what our individual classroom group believed to be important and relevant in our school, we were also given the opportunity to see individuals' opinions throughout the school, so people who were maybe in a different pathway than us or in a different classroom all over the school. So that was really interesting. We had snacks and games to keep the energy up, and it was overall a very positive experience. However, personally, I was skeptical because I'd done other initiatives like this in the past, not to the same extent, but with the same goal. And I never really saw how my input was used in the school. I never really saw any results. So I was a little bit skeptical and cynical when I came in. However, especially this year, following the initiative, I've been extremely impressed because I can see intuitive results of my input and my peers' input. So it really has been a positive experience of being able to really observe and have that perspective of here's my input and this is what it's doing. So overall, it's been a positive experience as a participator.
Thank you, ladies, for sharing your experience with Speak Up in a Box and what that day looked like. What was done with the responses that were collected through the Speak Up in a Box process?
All right, so I'm Daniel again. So as you've already heard, every forum session consisted of students compiling lists on chart paper of what they thought were the most important issues to improve upon in the school. The suggestions were all voted on with following a democracy, which you may be able to see on the slides over there. And so we ended up with a massive amount of data to sort through. We really wanted to make sure that the students' voices were heard and that change actually came from this. So we looked at every single sticky note on every single piece of chart paper from every forum session. Ms. Demianchuk actually formatted a Google Doc for us to assemble all the data in, so that was an easy way for everybody to work collaboratively on assembling the data. And we were able to narrow down the top 7 priorities in our school. These priorities were then put on a ballot that was distributed throughout all of the homerooms again, and every student picked their top priority from that list. We received about 400 ballots out of our population of around 650, and the top 2 priorities were identified as fundraising to improve facilities in our school and creating an inclusive environment where everyone feels welcome and comfortable. Students also had the opportunity to submit their name on the ballot if they wish to help out with these initiatives the following year. And we received about 87 names of students that were willing to volunteer their time. And while not all 87 have been involved every step of the way, we've been able to utilize the work of a few core students that are passionate about improving the school, and we've been able to actually create some pretty significant change in our school.
Thank you, Daniel. Collecting that data was a lot of work, but well worth it. So next, can someone please explain what Moira has done to follow up with the fundraising initiative, which was identified as a priority?
Okay, so as Daniel already said, fundraising was identified as one of the main issues that the students wanted to see improvement on in our school. So as a result of this, a fundraising team was formed of all the students who indicated on the ballot their interest towards improving this issue in our school. So following this, the team met together and they identified issues and brainstormed specific fundraising initiatives that they could do. Following this, they paired up with Student Council, which is how I became involved as the Student Council fundraising co-head. And together we brainstormed areas of improvement and selected specific and attainable projects for us to tackle. So we decided to start on a smaller scale by purchasing a new and much needed water fountain to replace an old and broken one in the upstairs section of our school, because there's no good ones up there. So Student Council had previously done a lot of fundraising with school clothing early in the year. So they provided some of the funds, as well as Parent Council, who contributed as well, to purchase this water fountain for our school. Now, the water fountain has been a great addition to our school, and it has really benefited the students, but we want to do more than just that. Unfortunately, our most immediate projects require a lot more money than the water fountain did, and this has resulted in a loss of momentum on our part since we have been unable to purchase anything further from this. As a small school, we do a lot of charitable fundraising, so fundraising for ourselves typically takes a back seat, so it's harder for us to purchase things for ourselves, and this has proved to be one of our greatest obstacles. However, we are working to overcome this because we have come up with a lot of fundraising ideas for this school year, and for next coming school year, we've brainstormed a list, even though I'm not going to be there, but yeah, so that they can continue with the fundraising for our schools so we can see the improvements that the students would like to see. We are looking to hopefully purchase new bleachers for our school and update the track, and also we want to get a mascot costume for our school because we don't have one yet, believe it or not.
Thanks, Kira. The second initiative you guys identified was creating an inclusive environment. Can you expand on what we've done at Moira to work towards that?
Hey everyone, I'm Leslie, and during the Hastings and Prince Edward District School Board, we had an anti-bullying and prevention week, and Moira really wanted to act upon the desire to create a more inclusive, welcoming, and bully-free environment. So a Student Voice committee was created to address the needs of the students in an interactive manner. And to encourage inclusivity, the committee created a video showcasing and encouraging how Moira students want to make it better now. And we're going to show you the video now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm Mandy Sabry-Wayway. I'm Director of Education for the board. I was looking over at our trustees here. It is really exciting to be here. Welcome to all of the staff and to students. I understand that we have quite a range of student leadership here in the room this morning from various clubs and groups across the school. So welcome and thank you for making time to come to this very important event. I also would like to welcome this morning. We have 3 of our Board of Trustees joining us this morning. Very important to have our trustees support the work we do in the board, and I'd like to introduce them. We have Mike Brandt. Mike, if you would wave. We have Lucille Kyle. And we also welcome Mary Hall this morning. Trustees this morning here really shows you how important this topic is to us. It's an important day to kick off the Bullying Awareness and Prevention Week, which we really value in our board. And I would say there are three key things about the work that we do with regard to safe schools in the board that I'd like to mention to you this morning. And the first is our character traits. Our board is really founded fundamentally on character traits that talk about respect and responsibility, that talk about integrity and trustworthiness and caring and cooperation, and we have humor in there as well. But they are important because they really ground the work that we do. And what we want is for everyone in the board, and I include students and staff in that, to interact in respectful, courteous, and caring way, and that's really important to us. The second piece that's really important, and for students to know, that we have a plan in the board. It's called the Achievement in Motion for Student Success System Plan. And the reason that's important is because in it, we identify what's important to the board. And right there in our board, as one of our key priorities, is to have safe, healthy, respectful, inclusive, respectful learning and working environments. And so I want you to know as students that that's absolutely key to us. We know students cannot function in places that are not welcoming and accepting, and it's important to us that our schools do that. And you are a great example of it here at Moira, so thank you for that. And finally, I wanted to mention that as we do our work in the board, we want to really align the work that we do with the priorities that we have. And so this year, we have actually created a new department at the board, and it is called School Climate and Student Wellbeing. And the reason we did that is because we want you to know how important this work is. And so today, at the back, if I can see Superintendent Colleen DeMille is here with us. And Colleen DeMille is in charge of the department that's called School Climate and Student Wellbeing. And I want you to see Colleen, know who she is, and know that the work that we do around student safety and accepting students and being welcoming in our environments is really key, and it's important to us for the three reasons I've outlined: the character traits, the AIM system plan, and the fact that we've organized our work to recognize how important it is. I hope you have a wonderful week. I thank you all for letting me say hello to you this morning. Thank you for your leadership in school, and I look forward to all the events as the week unfolds.
At Moira, the theme we've chosen for the week is Make It Better Now. We believe in the popular slogan, it gets better. But we also believe that we have the power to change things in the present instead of waiting for the future.
And bullying isn't something we can afford to ignore. It can affect anyone, regardless of personal characteristics, and its aftermath can be absolutely devastating. Luckily, sometimes all it takes to break the cycle of bullying is a strong support network, which we at Moira strive to create. As Moira Student Council presidents and as a school, we're always working towards creating an environment that is inclusive and supportive for our members. So far in the year, we have helped run the barbecue at Grade 9 Orientation Day and helped welcome back new students to the school. We also plan our Welcome Back Assembly in September, which showcased all of the amazing accomplishments of Moira's clubs, teams, and outstanding students, as well as a list of the many extracurricular programs Moira has to offer.
We make sure no one's ever turned away from Student Council. No matter your personal circumstance, grade, or academic standings, everyone and anyone who wants to help be the voice of the student body is more than welcome. Student Council is about making the year at Moira the best it can be for all members of the school. We want people to look back on their time at Moira as some of the best moments of their lives. We strive to make high school better now because that's what everyone deserves.
But Student Council isn't the only group in the school here at Moira that strives to make it better now. This morning, you'll hear from 3 other student leadership groups: our Student Voice Committee, our Mentorship Team, and our GSA. And up first, we'll hear from our Student Voice Team to talk about what they're doing to end bullying for good.
I'm Kira Somerville.
And I'm Rachel Walbert.
And we are 3 of Moira's Student Voice leaders. The three of us, as well as several other students, have worked together over the past few weeks to create a bullying prevention and awareness video. The video is not only to promote the Bullying Prevention Week, but is also a follow-up from the Speak Up in a Box initiative our schools took part in last year.
The results from the school-wide forum show that the main area students want improvement in was inclusivity in our school. This video is just one of the steps Moira is taking to follow up with the forum and to spread awareness of ways you can make it better now.
We hope this video will inspire not only our students, but also other schools and community members that bullying is not something one should suffer through with the thought of mind that makes things better. Together, we want to expand on inclusivity and make it better now.
And you ask me what I want this year, and I try to make this kind and clear. Just a chance that maybe we'll find better days. 'Cause I don't need boxes wrapped in strings and designer love and empty things. Just a chance that maybe we'll find better days. So take these words and sing out loud, 'cause everyone is forgiven now. 'Cause tonight's the night the world begins again. Someplace simple where we could live, and something only you can give, and that's faith and trust and peace while we're alive. And the one poor child who saved this world, and there's 10 million more who probably could, if we all just stopped and said a prayer for them. So take these words.
Don't be afraid to do what you love.
'Cause everyone is forgiven now. 'Cause tonight's the night the world begins again.
Get involved in Student Voice initiatives.
Bullying Awareness Prevention Week is an opportunity at Moira Secondary to celebrate all of the amazing activities and caring that happen at the school all year long. From our student council initiatives to our student voice committees, our mentorship activities, our GSA leadership, along with many other student-led leadership events, there are many signs of a positive, supportive environment at this school. As I transitioned to Moira, there were a number of students and staff that told me that the Moira community was like a caring family. I've seen our board's character traits demonstrated often, and every day since I joined the school, I've had the students and staff ask me how I'm doing and showing their caring. I try whenever possible to try to do the same to add to our environment and make it even better.
Baby, drifting away won't be such a bad thing. We'd both be better off anyway, and I've been packing up your suitcase full of all of my mistakes.
Hey man, why aren't you playing the game? No one likes me. No one likes you. Everyone likes you, man. Here, I got an extra pay. Why don't you join in and play with us?
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Come on, this is great.
this is Coach Lambert talking about bullying this week. Bullying is wrong. It's wrong. Instead, make friends. Hug it out. Don't bully.
I love you, Dad.
Be a buddy.
If someone was being bullied, I try to be really nice to them and make it so they feel good about themselves. And if they felt unwelcomed, you could try and make them feel welcomed, like I guess comfort them in a way, and yeah, try and be their friend.
Try and make them understand that they're not the only person going through it, and that there's other people that can help them as well.
Things will only get better if you tell someone about it.
I knew this guy was bothering one of my friends, so I can't say his name either, but he was making fun of him, his body, and making him feel uncomfortable about himself. So I talked to some of my friends about it, to see how they felt, what they wanted to do, and we talked to some teachers and some friends and stuff, and we eventually got the bully to stop bothering our friend.
Talk to someone, get help, because if you can't handle by yourself, get help. Bullying is really serious.
Yeah, you have to do something about it.
You know, it's not the end of the world, so just try and get through it because you're perfect.
Tell somebody about it. Like, everybody has a friend. There's people out there that don't want you to fail, and everyone wants you to succeed. And there's people in the school, outside the school, at home, people in the community who just want you to do well and be happy. So tell someone that you know cares about you. Call a friend. Use the buddy system.
And remember that everyone has qualities that make them special and make them different. And you know, if the people you're around don't make you feel that way, then you should find new people who appreciate you for who you are.
Because it's their loss, not yours. Always remember that.
Make it better now.
Make it better now.
Make it better now.
Make it better now. Make it better now.
Make it better now.
Make it better now.
Make it better now.
Make it better now.
Make it better now.
Make it better now.
Hazlo mejor ahora.
Mach es besser.
Mejóralo. Melhore agora.
Make it better now. Make it better now.
Make it better now.
We'll make it better now.
Alrighty, thank you everyone. So this video was presented on the first day of the Anti-Bullying and Prevention Week, and it was presented school-wide, and we had students with their cell phones, and we had it projected, well, it's obviously on YouTube, so that's how it was easily be accessed for everyone. And we also had a school board kickoff event held in our library, which was presented to school board members and trustees in there as well. And this video really sparked a movement, not only for the Moira student body, but for the rest of the school board. A lot of other schools have seen the video and have talked about it. And we also went on to present this video at a leadership conference and at a school board meeting as well. And well, now we're here presenting it.
As a response to this video, Moira teams and clubs began getting very involved in uniting the Moira community.
For example, the Gay Straight Alliance, which I am very involved in, began running in full charge into Bullying Awareness and Prevention Week, running very many initiatives in order to unite students within the school. We began selling GSA t-shirts like this one. Look, they're so cute. We created a pledge banner, which was on the slide that was up. Basically, we invited any and all students and teachers who wanted to come down to the front foyer. They filled out a sticky note and pledged how they were going to make it better now for the rest of their lives and for the rest of the school year. They put it upon a banner, and that banner is now still hanging in our front foyer, which I think is really awesome. I got the chance to meet very many students and hear their perspectives on inclusivity at the school and how they're feeling in their classrooms, if they're feeling involved, and how they are going to make it better now. To further emphasize this inclusivity in our school, the GSA raised our very first pride flag in our library, and I get to see that every day, and it just makes me really happy. We also held a pride party in our front foyer with face painting, pink shirts, hearts, dancing, music. Awesomeness. It was so great. So much energy. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but still great. But on top of the GSA, our student council also strives to accept all kids into the student council, regardless of if they were in the student council previously or not. We hold Bring a Buddy Days, where current members of the student council can bring any student they want in the school, and guess what they get? Food. You want a kid, you bring food. So they want to accept anyone in to get perspectives from everyone in the school, including teachers, students from all pathways of all kinds in the school. Our mentorship program also meets with grade 9 students that are transitioning into high school to make sure that they are creating an inclusive environment for everyone around them and are having a very good time in high school as they go into their courses, study, and interact with other students. Our school no longer sees inclusivity as an option, but rather a priority.
Thank you. As you've heard, the video had a major impact on inclusivity in our school, and it also gave you a nice quick tour of our building as well. The next question for our panelists is, what have you learned through this process?
So although this school forum was a major success for our school, there are some improvements that can still be made. Some groups were initially left out of the process due to miscommunication. Our co-op students were away at their work placement, and we also had an outdoor education class that was on a camping trip at the time. So in future, we wish to communicate more between groups so that we ensure that every student participates in this forum and that their voice is being heard.
Also, depending on the group of students that we had, it was difficult to keep their attention for the entirety of the 90-minute session. We had snack breaks, game breaks, and tweet breaks, like I already said. But in future forums, it would be good to include more. So the integration of videos and technology would really be great to keep everyone interacted and interested in the forum. Secondly, we did our forum in May of 2013. So we really had a lot of momentum coming out of it, but then we had the transition from the one school year into the next school year, so we lost a lot of momentum from that transition because some of our students graduated and we had new incoming students and whatnot. So that was really one of our downfalls, and in future forums it would be good to have it in the September or somewhere near the beginning of the year so that those students can see the change that is happening in their school as a result of the things that they have said. So that's another thing that you can improve on.
And one last thing, awareness. Making sure that as a Student Voice Committee, we are advocates for the work that is happening. Like the water fountain that Kira said, making sure that we are making sure that the students in the school are aware that that water fountain is there because they asked for it, that their voices are being heard. It didn't just spontaneously come up overnight because that's what happens in schools. No, it came up because they had a voice and we helped make that happen. So awareness is a big one for us.
As a wrap-up to our panel discussion, as returning students to Moira, how will you ensure that positive change is going to continue to happen?
So if we want to continue having positive change in the school, we need to make sure that discussion continues and that we keep taking a pulse of what students feel is most important in the school at that time. We need to make sure that we have the most up-to-date kind of idea of what everybody wants to see happen, and that's not necessarily having another Speak Up forum or Speak Up in a Box forum, but something similar to that. And so what we're planning on doing actually later in May, we're running a grade 7 to 10 leadership afternoon to engage to engage those younger students in hopefully trying to take on a leadership role later in their high school careers, because there's many of our student leaders that you can see up here will be graduating this year, and so we're trying to get more people involved that way. And also at this leadership afternoon, we're going to have Shane Feldman from Count Me In come to speak. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's pretty great. And following that, we're going to have kind of like a mini speak up in a box sort of thing, not to the extent that we had last year, but with those grade 7 to 10 students, to see how those younger students feel engaged, or what makes them feel engaged, and we're trying to incorporate that too. And so that's giving us something to work towards as we're moving forward. We're also going to have kind of a focus on inclusivity, and we're looking to figure out how we can better include students with learning disabilities in our school, so our special education program and other students with learning disabilities that are in applied or academic courses. And we want to make sure that they're not feeling left out, and we have the most inclusive school that we are capable of having.
All right, on top of this, teams and clubs, again, got very involved in reaching out to our grade 8 students. This included our GSA as well. We came back and we held workshops at our grade 8 day. We invited kids into the library and we discussed what GSA does, how we're working to emphasize inclusivity within our school. We showed them that lovely video. We showed off our t-shirts, and I personally led this workshop, and I can tell you that these students had a very, very positive reaction. We had some students even stay for 2 or 3 workshops here because they were just having so much fun. We got them up out of their seats. They were moving, they were dancing, they were grooving. They were having a lot of fun including people. They were meeting other people from other schools that they had never met before and just having a great time with it, and they're seeing what we're doing to include them. As a school with grade 7 and 8 students within our building, we try to reach out to them as much as we can. We even have these 2 little girls, they're so cute, grade 7s. They come into GSA all the time, and they bring food, and they're awesome. And we try to get them to include their friends. Sometimes they bring friends along, and we try to include them so we can ensure to have a positive snowball effect into the future with our school. We also include teachers as much as we can. We've had meetings where 3 or 4 teachers take time out of their lunch to come to GSA and just talk about how we are going to make it better now, how we're going to include other students from all kinds of pathways within our school. And we just find that this is really important to include both students and teachers in this process to ensure the best result possible. GSA and student groups, how they do strive towards a better present. However, we do recognize that to make a better and brighter present, we have to first create a brighter future.